In this video, I'll be taking a look at 3 storm systems that could bring blizzards, flooding, severe weather, and even a polar vortex on the backside. And I'll also be giving y'all a bread and milk update. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Howdy y'all and welcome. As we can see, we got a lot of winter weather to deal with today, as much of the country is dealing with some sort of winter storm advisory. See, we're dealing with some winter storm warnings out west, some winter storm advisories in the central part, and even in the eastern part of the country, with winter storm warnings amongst the Appalachians, and even a winter storm watch up here in the northeast. As I'm currently in the process of editing this video, there has been a major update to that winter storm watch. As I said earlier, there could be an upgrade from the winter storm watch to a blizzard warning or a winter storm warning. There is currently a winter storm warning issued for this area for upwards of 4 to 8 inches and possibly more in localized areas, upwards of 1 to 2 inches per hour snowfall rates. This is issued from 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday to 10 o'clock in the evening. Some areas this has been issued through Sunday, so please be aware of this, and please be careful if you have to head out. Please don't get out if you don't have to, but if you have to, please be careful and pack that safety kit. So we can see on the southern side of the storm system, we're going to be dealing with some severe weather. A marginal risk has been issued from Louisiana on over into the panhandle of Florida. Now this is mainly due to a low-end tornado threat and a low-end damaging wind threat, so please be aware of this. Make sure you're weather aware. Now most of these advisories and watches go out into Saturday and on Sunday, but if we take a look at this even further, let's go ahead and take a look at the simulated radar. We're going to take a look at 3 different models today. The Canadian model, that's what this one is. The Euro, the GFS, and even the National Blend of models, which combines all 3 of these models, puts it into one run of who will see the most snowfall. It's the most conservative model out of all of them. As we take a look at the Canadian model, we can see that storm system setting up over here, bringing some severe weather down on the panhandle. It's going to traverse eastward, bring 1 to 2 inches over here where the winter storm advisory is, over by Kansas and Oklahoma. It's going to traverse over here to the winter storm warning area amongst the Appalachians, where some icing is going to occur potentially upwards of a foot in the higher elevations. Mount LeConte could see some pretty significant snow as well. Some light snow over here amongst the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. Could be getting in on about 1 to 2 over here. It's going to traverse off into the northeast, bring some heavy snow and heavy winds over here by Massachusetts by Sunday morning. Then that's going to be getting out of here as we head off into Monday, before our second storm system starts to form. More severe weather down here potentially on the 8th and 9th. We can see here on the 8th there's a 15% chance, and on the 9th there is also a 15% chance over here. So this is going to be a wild storm system. As you can see, heavy winds on the backside, severe weather on the front side, and even some flooding as well. Definitely a wild storm system. We take a look at the precipitation. You look at this, guys. If I push this forward, a lot of heavy rainfall amongst this part of the country. Please be aware of flooding if you live in a low-lying area, and please turn around and do not drown if you see a flooded roadway. It looks like we rely on the Canadian model. We can see a lot of heavy snow on the backside over here by Indiana and Michigan and Ohio. A lot of light snow up here in the northern plains. A lot of heavy snow up here in the northwest as well. That's going to be getting out of here before our third system starts to move its way into the upper Midwest by the 14th. Now this is still pretty far out. This will change between now and then. This all comes down to the temperatures, really. We can see as we push off into the actual event on Saturday, look at these temperatures right here. This is why we have severe weather down here on the 8th and 9th. We got 90-degree temperatures almost down here by Texas, and really frigid air up here. Cold air is going to funnel this way, warm air is going to funnel this way. That's why we have our 15% chance for severe weather over here. And this could also cut down on the snow totals for this area right here. We're still very uncertain as to what the temperatures will be, why we have so many different model runs determining different snow totals. As we take a look at what the Canadian model says on how much snow we could possibly get in on. Now, I'm only going to show up to the second event. The third event I'm not really confident in, but I am pretty confident in showing y'all up into the 10th. We can see that if we rely on the Canadian model, which I don't think we're going to rely on. We're going to rely on National Blended models here at the Williams Weather. We don't do fear-based weather here. But if we rely on this, we can see the northeast obviously is going to be getting in on about a foot of snowfall. Over here in the upper Midwest into the Central Plains, we can see about a foot as well from eastern Missouri up into Michigan. 3 to 6 surrounding that, and of course 2 to 4 for the rest of this area. Up here in the northwest, y'all are also going to be getting in on about 2 feet of snow over here by Idaho. Can't leave y'all out. That's that model. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Euro. Y'all are pretty familiar with this model. You can see this is going to traverse towards the east and to the northeast by Sunday. It's showing the same storm system. It's showing a little bit of a higher low pressure, 997. The Canadian was showing a 996 low. That was centered over Louisiana. This one sort of pushes it further towards the north. A lot more rainfall over the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. A lot more snow from Michigan. This is going to cut down the snow totals. Really high winds with this. So it looks like blizzard conditions could be possible on the backside. Could be dealing with severe weather down here with some flooding amongst this area. All models are showing flooding with this system. If we take a look at the wind speeds of what we could expect with this, if we take a look at the wind gusts here, upwards of 10 to 20 to possibly 30 mile an hour wind gusts. Take a look at the wind speeds. We can see as I rewind this and show y'all about 10 to 20 mile an hour wind speeds, sustained winds, and up there in the northeast, y'all are going to be getting in on almost 50 mile an hour winds. Definitely possible power outages with this system. Please prepare for that. And that's going to be getting out of here. The Euro is showing this as a slower storm system compared to what the Canadian was showing. Then as we take a look at the system after this, this is the third round. Not very confident in this one, but looks like we could possibly come in on a lot of snowfall with this one, but if we rely on the Euro, it looks like it's going to be cutting down a lot of snowfall because there's going to be a lot more rain than snow because of the temperatures. Then of course, 200 hours out, we can see we're going to have another storm system. This is way too far out. This is La La Land, but it looks like January is setting up to be very, very active. So let's go ahead and take a look at the snow totals here on the Euro. Now, as we take a look at the snow totals on the Euro leading up into Wednesday's storm system, we can see that it cuts down on the snow totals quite a bit. We head off into Friday. We can see that we're going to be dealing with about 8 to 12 over here by Nebraska and Iowa and southern Minnesota. Up here in the northeast, y'all are going to be getting in on a lot of snowfall. Over here in the upper Midwest, it cuts down on the snowfall a lot on the Euro compared to what the Canadian model was saying. The Canadian model was saying that we're going to be getting in on 8 to 12 from Missouri up into Michigan. But we still got one more model to go, which is the GFS, which typically overdoes the snowfall. Now, we're going to focus on the low pressure system. We can see at the first round here, it's not as potent of a system as it was showing early on in the week, as we have a 1005 low, actually pretty high of a low pressure. Getting in a lot of snowfall over here in the upper Midwest in the morning. As we head off into the evening hours of Saturday, looks like the northeast is going to be getting hammered. Going to be getting out of here by early Monday morning. Then the second round starts to form as we head off into Monday afternoon. A really low pressure centered over Texas, a 994 low. Rises a little bit, then weakens down again as it heads off towards the east. This is a lower low pressure than what the Canadian and the Euro was showing. Canadian was showing the 996 and the Euro was showing the 997. We can see blizzard conditions on the backside, severe weather on the front side, flooding, of course, over here in the central part. You see these isobars here, how they're starting to sag towards the south? That's a trough. We're going to be potentially coming in on a polar vortex, and I'll take a look at that here in a little bit. First, we're going to cover the snowstorm, and then we'll cover that. We can see we have the I-70 cutoff as usual. Rain south of 70, snow on the north side of 70, icing in the middle. And I'll be showing you all the temperatures here in a little bit. Temperatures play a big role in snowstorms, of course. That's why these are so hard to track over here in the upper Midwest. They're sort of easier to track over here in the Northwest because y'all are always cold this time of year. The low pressure just wants to go back and forth, and it's still going to do that seesaw pattern leading up to next week's event. Definitely subscribe down below so you never miss an upload, and I will have periodic updates on social media, on Facebook and on X. Go follow those. I even have a Truth Social account as well. If y'all want to go subscribe to that, please do so. And we do get any snowstorms here at the Winds Weather Headquarters, I will be out there reporting on it. Even if we get heavy rainfall, I'll still be out there. And it looks like as we head off into Tuesday afternoon, going to be getting in on some rain. So it looks like some snow, and then it's going to transition over to rain, and then backside snow. So we head into Wednesday morning. Heavy winds regardless. These isobars are really close together. This low pressure is going to start to weaken significantly. I don't think this is going to happen. In my opinion, I'm more in line with what the Euro was saying. But if we stick with the GFS, looks like really low pressure, 984 low over Indiana by Tuesday evening. If this is the case, we could be coming in on really significant winds. Then it's going to start to move off into the northeast by Wednesday. That's going to be getting out of here before our third storm system starts setting up by Friday. Now, this is subject to change. Don't trust this. This is almost 200 hours out. looks like some significant snowfall is going to be occurring on Friday evening. That's going to be a pretty quick mover as it moves out by Saturday evening into Sunday morning. And then now we're in La La Land on the GFS model, showing a lot of snowstorms this month. I'll show you guys the snow total on the GFS model. I'm only going to show up to Thursday. As you can see, this is in agreement with the Canadian. The Euro is the only different model. I'm more in line with the Euro, but if we agree with the GFS and the Canadian, we can see about 8 to 12 inches of snowfall by next Friday from Kansas up into Michigan, and of course the Northeast, y'all are going to be getting in a lot of snowfall as well. And over here in the Ohio Valley, it all comes down to whether or not you're going to be seeing rain or snow. I'm thinking the Euro is the one I'm going to stick with. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the national blend of models here. You can see that it cuts down on the snowfall totals by a lot over here in the central and eastern part of the country. It leaves a lot of snowfall up here in the northeast though. 8 to 12 is expected there, which I'm in agreement with. So I'm going ahead and issuing these areas here a bread and milk warning. Just in case y'all see about a foot of snow along this area, I'm going ahead issuing y'all a bread and milk warning. I'm in more agreement with the Euro and the national blended models because they're both cutting down on snow totals a lot. So go ahead, get that bread and milk now before the stores are going to be rated. And as we take a look at what the National Weather Service is saying, they're saying that heavy rainfall down here, severe weather down here, pretty good chances of heavy snow amongst this area here in the northeast. Definitely go out there and get that bread and milk. If we take a look at the next 8 to 14 days into the 18th, we can see we're coming in on an above average precipitation pattern, which means snowfall. Definitely get used to heavy rainfall down here and snow up here. Now I'm going to show y'all the reason why I said there's going to be a polar vortex. If y'all clicked on the video and saw on the thumbnail that there's going to be a polar vortex, that's true. And we'll take a look at the temperature anomalies for this. We can see we're going to come into an above average pattern for a little while. Below average out west. Now, above average don't mean really warm temperatures. It just means above average for this time of year. So we push further and further into January. We can see a little divot right here of almost 30 degrees below average. And there it comes. January 14th is the time frame where we're expecting a potential polar vortex to start stretching its way further towards the south. We take a look at the actual temperatures of what it's going to look like on that day. Negative temperatures. And I'm sure y'all remember, for those who have watched my January outlook video and even my winter outlook video, I said that December was going to be warmer than average, and it was. And January and February is going to be really freaking cold. Now we're going to take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly to show you why I'm saying we're going to be getting in on a potential polar vortex. Because we're currently in a little bit of a positive NAO over here in the North Atlantic. That's bringing warm temperatures down here. And it's going to start to turn negative as we head further into January. You can see some warm temperatures up here. It's going to funnel that cold air down here. And that's when we're going to be getting in on our polar vortex. See right here. This is a perfect example of it. We have a negative NAO. It was a positive. See, we had a positive NAO. It's sort of turning negative. And it's pushing that cold air further toward the south from the Arctic. That's why we're saying we're going to be getting in on a polar vortex. Because that warm air is pushing the cold air all the way up here. And it's dripping that cold air down here to the continental US. And it's not just me saying that we're going to be experiencing some really cold air in a polar vortex potentially. The Climate Prediction Center is saying that we're going to be way below average out west, although the rest of the country is going to be above average. Next 8 to 14 days, more cold air is going to be funneling this way. So it's looking like January starting off as an active month compared to December, with multiple chances for snowstorms and even severe weather as well. So make sure you go follow my social media pages. I'll have links to those down in the description below. I do daily updates on there. If we get any snowfall or whatever happens here at the Winds Weather headquarters, I will be out there in the field reporting on this round 2 storm system. Make sure you're subscribed down below so you never miss an upload, because here at Winds Weather we make weather forecasting fun and informative. If there's anything y'all want to see on the channel, please put it in the comment section down below. I read everybody's comments. Constructive criticism helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. So again, like, comment, and subscribe, as I'll keep you informed ahead of the storm.